Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone mission video. And on this video I'm going to show you all the easiest ways in which to take out the mission that is called Hard to Miss. Now just a couple of quick things that I want to point out before getting on to the action. The first is that I am taking on this mission on Survivor 2 difficulty. And the second thing to point out is that all the weapons that I am using are basically weapons you would have available to you at the time when you first get this mission given to you. So, without any further ado, let's just get on with the action. Now, as this is a side mission, you need to see one of the camps in order to get this assigned to you. And in this case, it is Mark Copeland in Cascade.
I got a bounty job for you.
I'm listening.
You're looking for Ned Walker.
Stick around.
Wears a red scarf. He and his crew came to the gate the other night. We wouldn't let him in.
Like I said, that was
He killed one of my guards and took off.
You have someone follow him?
He's holed up at a marauder camp just north of O'Leary Mountain. I think you know where that is.
No, but I'll find him.
Okay, now that I've been given this side mission, I'm just going to go to the map very quickly to show exactly where all the action is going to take place. And it is, yeah, in the northern area of Cascade, right up there. So, let's get to it. Right then folks, the first method that I want to show is this sniper rifle option. And this is a very clever take on how I would normally go about taking out a camp. Now, I want to show exactly where I'm going to be attacking this camp from, because this attack basically comes from the southeast. Now, I'll give myself a fair bit of room here. I'm a good 160 to 170 metres away. First of all, I do want to get a bit closer. At this point, I'm basically killing the engine, just letting this thing free flow. And at this point, get off the bike. Now I want to make sure that the sniper rifle is ready for action. So, make sure that I've got a suppressor on it, very important. I'm only using an M40 because this is all I would have available to me at this time. However, this is how it's going to go down. This mission's a very strange one because you actually have to get within a certain distance before all the marauders start doing what they would normally do. This will become a bit more apparent in the second method that I show. But for this particular one, as soon as I get down to this bush section here, all of a sudden it kicks into action and you actually get to see where Ned Walker is going about, and he's going to be the first casualty. There we go, very nice. Now, there is always two marauders that are on the actual structured building parts, so I'm looking to take out the second one as well. And even though I have already heard one of the marauders being slightly suspicious, I don't worry about it because they look around the area at the bottom. They don't actually come up to the top section. But here, yeah, I did press the wrong button there very briefly. But yep, that is that section all done. Now, from here, I'm looking to enter the camp, but from a very unusual direction, because there is actually a very nice way to get into this camp where most of the marauders simply will not see you. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, because there is only 7 marauders in total to contend with. Now I've taken out 2 of them already, so there is another 5 remaining, but I have no intentions of taking out any more of these marauders. So anyways, here is the area that you need to use in order to get into the camp safely. But very important, first of all, there is a bear trap hidden in those bushes. Make sure to pick it up and put it back down on the ground so that it is no longer a threat to yourself. After this, it's just a few climbs, and then look at this. When I go into this top section, all of a sudden, I've got bushes to my left that I can instantly get cover with, and that is even better. There was one of the marauders that had been onto the platform area to investigate, but he's come back down. The rest of them patrol over that side anyhow. So up here now, there will be nobody. So all I have to do now is to collect Ned Walker's bandana. And once I have done this, just wait and see what comes into the camp, because this happens every time. 2 runners. And of course, because there is marauders still down there, I'm going to use them as a very nice diversion. I want off this platform quickly, so it's a dive roll. Missed the ladder. And one more dive roll. And there we go. Hey presto. The job is done. Because there is nothing that says you have to kill all of the marauders. The only two requirements you have is to kill Ned Kelly and to collect his bandana as proof of kill. So from here, I'm just looking to get back to the bike nice and safely. And then from here, I'm going to be heading to Copeland's camp to return the bandana and end the mission. So I will move this video on a touch right here, folks. Right then, at this point, folks, I'm just about back at Copeland's camp. And this is the only time I'm actually going to show the ending of this particular mission, because this is the very easy part. You just basically need to get back into the camp, head over to Mark Copeland, and basically the last piece of interaction takes place.
More than a few men trying to hunt down that son of a bitch.
Next time, just come to me.
You volunteering? Never thought I'd see the day.
My bike.
Go see Manny. If you got enough camp credits, he'll fix you right up.
And that takes me nicely to the end of the first method, but there is another two to show, so let's get on with it. Right then, on to method 2, which I simply like to call front attack. And this really is a pretty direct way of getting the job done, but also a surprisingly easy one. Now, the attack direction is going to be the same as method 1, so I'm attacking from the southeast, and basically I'm looking to take the bike over to this same area as I did before, and in the same manner. So I start off full throttle, but this bike is noisy, so I cut the engine at this point, just let the bike free flow to get to over here. And now I want to make sure that the MWS I'm using has a suppressor on it. Now, this is where you see exactly what's sort of going on with this mission. Even though there's a marauder up there, as soon as I get within range of this camp, all of a sudden, regardless of what he's doing, he goes to that point to talk to Ned Walker. And his head here is shown very nicely, so I'm going to take him out first, followed by that other marauder right over there. So from here, I'm basically looking to work my way around over to this section of the camp. You get some nice cover here as well. And this section of the camp here, I'm looking to take out at least 3 of the marauders. If I see the 4th, I'll take them out as well. But the first 3 are the main candidates here. So, number 1, number 2, and that one there. Yeah, doesn't know much that's going on. Now, from this point here, I'm going up for the last marauder that I'm expecting to take out, because this one usually is aware that something is going on, and yeah, most certainly is here. So, do you know what? I'm not even bothering with, yeah, I'm just going to take the suppressor off here, because I'd rather save it, and there we go, nice. So, at this point now, very quickly want to head over and find Ned Walker's bandana in order to trigger the 2 runners that are going to come into the camp. So I'm actually going to take the time to take care of these runners, and I'm going to do it by starting off with a residue bolt on one of them, doesn't matter which, because once I hit one of them with the residue bolt, yep, they're going to start fighting. And I am going to take the time to head down here, and I will take out the second runner as well before leaving this area. So yeah, at this point I'm just making sure it's reasonably safe to get off here. And yeah, okay, you normally find that the runner that's been hit with a residue bolt tends to be a bit stronger at this point and usually wins the fight between the 2 runners. So I've got an incendiary bolt now at the ready, because I'm going to make sure that I hit this thing with fire. And of course I've got an SMP-9 here, which most people will have at this point. And there we go. That is the biggest problem of getting out here done and dusted. Of course, after you've hit the first runner with a residue bolt, you can do pretty much similar to what I did in my first run, where I just basically leave the camp as quickly as possible and don't need to deal with the other one. But in this case, I chose not to do it that way. But there we go. That is method 2 done and dusted.
Yeah, of course you do.
Right then, on to the third and final method, which is residue and incendiary bolts. This really is just a bit of fun, but it just shows how effectively you can still take out one of these camps. Now, as always, I like to point out, if you are using incendiary bolts on Survivor 2 difficulty, do make sure that you have the knocked up skill in place in order to make the crossbow firing damage wise more effective. Because if you don't have the knocked up skill in place, you will find that it will take 2 incendiary bolts every time to kill a marauder. Now on lower difficulty levels you'll probably get away with 1 shot per kill, but you certainly don't on Survivor 2. So I'm going to get the party started by using a residue bolt on that marauder over there, and I'm just going to head up into the camp via the front entrance. Because usually Ned Walker is sticking his head up, and yeah, it's actually going to be a bit of a tough shot there, but stayed still enough, and I know I've definitely got him. Although you don't see blue appearing on Ned Walker, you do see his the thing above his head highlighted in a brighter colour. So, of course, as with before, I'm making sure to remove that bear trap from harm's way, and then I'm going to make my way up into the camp this way. Always like this because you can get cover very, very quickly, and you get a good firing line for the rest of the marauders that are around here. So, as you can see here already, I mean, how the fights generally go is completely random, just due to the fact that the nature of the residue bolts and how the marauders move about and whatnot. But I'm basically just looking for any easy shots that I can make. And here is the next victim. Yeah, we'll get another residue bolt in play. And again, I don't have to do very much here, just let them get on with it. Now, the only disadvantage with this particular camp compared to some of the others is you do not get a body count as to let you know just how many of the marauders are remaining. I know from experience with taking on this camp quite a number of times that it is always 7 marauders that you have to contend with. And at this point, yeah, I'm just going to lower the numbers very nicely with some incendiary bolt kills. So at this point, there is highly likely to still be 1 marauder actually on the platform section. So I'm looking to see if I can get a shot in place for this. Yeah, there is one over here, and yeah, very nice. Okay, yep, make sure I've got some more incendiary bolts in play. I do love these bad boys. You only require 1 shot if you have them set up right, and not only that, you have a huge target to aim at. You're not going head hunting. You just basically need to hit any part of the body. And again, just looking, return the bandana as proof of kill, because I've picked it up. In come the runners. Now, unlike before where I actually took them both out, I'm going to take the chicken shit way out here and just basically like, especially as I can see the runners are heading well away from me. Yeah, so at this point, just, yeah, do you know what? I've got enough time to do this, so I will just use the ladder. And from here, yeah, this is the quickest way to exit the camp. Very nice. So, at this point, just head back over to the bike, and the job is a good one. And worth pointing out, folks, on this video there is going to be no horde option, although there is 1 or 2 hordes nearby. It's really not worth it for the amount of hassle that it takes, and given how few marauders you actually have to deal with. So that brings me very nicely to the end of this video. All I can say is thank you so much for watching, folks, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Take care.